Subject
What, Cindy?
subject matter.
Subject matter. Okay. And we're doing 2 podcasts, actually. The first podcast is going to be about how sensitive you are to the world around you, the physical world around you. The second podcast is about how sensitive you are to the spirit realm. Okay. So, two things people are really interested in, but they're going to hone in on the details. And it's like, how do you explain how my brain works, right?
They all ask that one. My favorite question is, what made you think of that?
Yes, because I have a son that I have to teach.
Yeah,
He's doing
Not-
good.
he is. It sounds like it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
He's now decided that 4 hours of work he can be comfortable with.
Very nice.
Good.
So he did do an 8-hour stint. So he found out he could do it.
Yeah.
Not comfortable with it yet, but he found out he can do it.
Well, he'll get there.
Yep. Got to experience it, right?
Oh.
That's right.
Don't want Bella to come in.
Oh, that's what's wrong. Okay.
I'm going to bring you in just a little bit so that you don't see just half your face.
I'm
Thank
trying
you.
to let my bangs grow. They're going bing.
What's that?
Trying to let my bangs grow out. They're going ding.
Oh, I understand, but they're cute right now. I
Yeah.
like the way they do
Yeah.
that. Yeah, looks good. Okay, so ideas that I have, and I need your input. Okay. I'm going to start off with explaining what I do and what the podcast is about, and then I'm going to say something like, I'm not sure all of it, but anyway, I am going to bring in, that often when you're talking about being sensitive to the things around us, people immediately think of autism. And that's not what we're talking about at all. And so I'm going to bring that subject up and you can respond to it. Because that's immediately where people's brains go.
Huh.
Okay.
I've run into it repeatedly and I'm going,
Because it's such a hot topic right now.
Yeah. Everybody's, looking at people that don't have it like us, I guess, right? Is that what you're saying? And so if I sound a little tired, I am.
That's okay.
I purposely took it, but didn't think about driving back down here. My muscle relaxer.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
I did too.
You
And I
did
was like,
too.
I have a cup of coffee.
I know I'm having caffeine, but I'm very slow.
That's okay. God's got this.
Yes, he
I just
does.
know he does. Okay. But that's one of the topics we have to talk about because it is very different. And one of the things when I was first coming into this, when Matthias was in junior high, they had videos from the education community that had autism and you guys' learning style together.
Really?
Yes. And I'm going, huh? I mean, I live with Caden and Matthias and talk about 2 different people. Yes, they both have what's it called? Process weaknesses, but that's the only similarity they have.
Hey, what is the process weakness? Refresh my memory. Forgot.
Let me see if I can find it or is it on my other notebook.
Oh, that's okay. You don't have to right now.
No, because that's something that can come up. Basically, for you guys, you're non-sequential.
Oh,
That's basically.
That's different.
okay. Well, that's all right then.
Yeah.
Autism focuses more. Autism has more of a focus
Yeah. Yeah.
issue. It's not that they can't process, is that they're so focused in on what's going on, they lose the ability from there. They're just there. And they're
That's what,
reacting.
yeah, that's what the parents say with this little boy that has it. They said that how did they put it? At first they thought he was just joking and not just doing what he was supposed to. And then so let me get back to you on it. I got my mind got twisted up with the medication, I think. Pardon me.
It's okay.
Hate this. Oh, go ahead.
But God's going to clear it out for the podcast. Don't worry.
Okay. Oh, I don't like feeling this way. Okay.
Okay. So anyway, but if you have basically 3 levels of autism. The severe autism, basically, they totally can get involved in a doorknob. I mean, just listening to it, feeling it, they can totally right
That total focus.
that total focus on the outward. Overly sensitive to everything around them. They often need a lot of stimulus around them. That would drive you guys bananas.
Yeah.
To that. They act like ping pong balls if they don't have something specific they're focusing on. Yeah, they can. And so they're not really second and third level really can't work in a workforce well. Yeah. They
There's
just
too much going on.
Yeah, exactly. First has a hard time not getting offended easily. The world revolves around them. There's just they don't know how to interact in a world in appropriate ways. On the other hand, you guys read people really well. You're very good at HR, those kind of things. You're really good at it. Not a problem. You know what I mean? The world around you is interesting, but unless you want to, you aren't going to focus on a doorknob.
Mhm.
Right.
Sorry, it's not.
And if we did, it wouldn't last long.
Not unless you had to fix it, you had to take it apart, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
See, it's just a different way of thinking.
Yeah.
And even when you can be distracted easily, it's because of something specific, and then you'll be able to kind of bring yourself back.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense? So,
Hi, Ruby. I'm Cindy.
Hi, Cindy. Nice to meet you.
yeah, the other part of that is you're all capable and you're all get into the workforce and you can do things.
We're functional.
You're functional.
Hallelujah.
What are you hearing, Ruby?
I was just listening to what you were saying, and it's like with autism, I think that it's hard for them to get past that thing that they need to communicate or whatever that they're hyper focused on. I worked with several children like that, and because of my sensitivity to people and to the spiritual realm, I could connect with them really well. So I think that it helps us be able to work better with people, but it's definitely not the same thing at all.
So, Ruby, I'm going to bring up the storyteller because you went from, okay, they can't just write it down because it is a spiritual experience right there. They are connecting with their audience, but they're also connecting with the spirit world around them internally. So it is a completely different thing that somebody that just sits down and writes a nice story.
Mm-hmm.
But they also expect their audience to fill in the visual details in their minds. So they often don't give a lot of the details.
So, okay, if I can get this out, because I keep starting to fall asleep and I'm so embarrassed here. Um, so the storyteller is what, gonna tell us the story and then what? What do we do?
Oh, no.
Or-
Ruby will take it. Because
Oh.
we talked
Oh,
about
that's right,
storyteller.
that's right. She's the story.
Story.
Okay,
No, she knows about the storyteller.
right, okay,
The next person, again, we're trying to work with the teachers
right.
and explain it to us. So they brought in a wonderful storyteller. Okay. He came in and he told these stories. And of course, their immediate response was, "What, you've got to write them down." And he's going, "No, you don't get it. That's not the way this works." And so I talked to Ruby about it because my brain immediately goes, he's reading the audience, which is why he knows what to do and so forth. And she's going, "Oh no, it's more than that." He's reading the spiritual atmosphere, including what's going on himself. That's a very spiritual experience.
Yeah,
Sure.
You know, as you were saying that though, it reminded me, can you imagine? So Noah heard those stories, you know, like because with Native Americans, we pass down stories from generation to generation. So the storyteller is learning those stories firsthand. Um, but if you think about it, back in biblical times, they were telling those stories and they got to hear them firsthand because they were living a lot longer than what we have. You know, their lifespan was a lot longer. And so,
Wow.
yeah, isn't that powerful?
That's powerful.
yeah.
Yeah. See, those are the kinds of things that makes this rich
Yeah.
and gives people, "Oh, I get it."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Well, it's full of context.
exactly.
You can feel the context. That's what part of the spirituality, I'm going to say, makes you get the context of what's going on and what they were feeling and the, you know, when the story's being told.
Mhm.
We like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, part of
For
working
sure.
with the memory is you've got to relate to it. You've got to bring in your emotion to it. If it's just a blank picture or a blank thing, it's like, yeah, so
Exactly. It's still a blank slate.
it's still a blank slate. It's not going to be remembered because it's not important. But if you relate to it, if it has context, if it has reality to you, then it's memorable.
Yeah.
So one
It
of the
will.
things, Ben,
Most people will remember it.
exactly. Um,
Sorry.
yeah, Cindy and I were in our podcast really working, what does memory look like? Or what does it feel like? You know, teachers just want a trace of memory in there. They're not expecting you to remember all the dates and all that stuff. They're not. They just want you to remember a trace. The problem is that Matthias doesn't have a trace of algebra. Not a trace, you know, kind of things. And so how do you make history and other things come alive?
That's right. Gotta have the whole thing, yeah.
Do you need to lay down a minute?
I might have to. This is terrible.
That's okay. There's a bed right
I'm
behind
over
you.
here going.
You can do that, okay?
Okay.
You're not stupid.
So
You can do
embarrassed.
this. It's okay.
Okay. All right.
We're trusting the Lord in this one.
That's right.
You know, I believe I did that. Actually, I do believe I did that.
They don't affect me the way they affect her.
Obviously.
What's that?
She'll come back when she's ready.
I said they don't affect me the way they affect you.
I don't. Oh,
How long will you think you'll take a nap for?
oh, I don't want to lay here any longer than 20 minutes. I'm
Okay.
hoping go down and dissipate.
Okay, that's not a problem. Okay, anyway, so I'm thinking, yeah, I already told Sherry that I wanted her to explain that, when all that stuff comes in, she has to move it to the edges of her mind
Mhm.
and then focus on what she wants to focus on. But it's there, it doesn't go away, but she has to choose to focus on what's in front of her, which feeds into what you were saying on our thing. When somebody asks you a question, it takes a little bit to figure out the question because your brain's going 90 miles an hour in some ways.
Yeah, drop kicking a question to somebody. I don't like to do that because of what it happens to me. So try, like, if you drop kicked a question to me I wasn't expecting, it's going to take me a minute.
Mhm.
I'm not going to answer right away. And a lot of teachers expect an immediate answer because you need to remember right now. And that's not going to happen.
Patience. You've seen that, Ruby.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Reminds me of Anthony.
Anthony's extremely smart, but
Mhm.
it takes him a little bit to figure out what the question is and the answer.
Well, and he will sit there and process it through his brain before he even takes a moment to speak. And about the most people think that he didn't understand or hear him or whatever. They move on to another subject and then he responds. They don't realize that while he's not saying anything, he is actually processing it in his brain. So you're right. He is very brilliant. It's just people don't know that because they don't take the time to hear.
Wait for the answer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I usually end up saying, give me a minute to think about it. That's usually my first answer. If I can't come up with an answer like they want right now, give me a minute to think about it.
Yeah.
And see, that's one of the things I want to bring up in this first thing, because I want the audience to take that away.
Mm.
This is what's going on in our brains. This is what's happening and why we're not responding immediately.
Yeah. Some people think that you're tongue-tied. I've had people do that. I got a question thrown at me at a very important event one time, and the question surprised me.
Mm.
I couldn't answer. And I mean, it was there, it was processing, but I could not answer. And the general turned around, looked at me and went, well, we're all proud too. They were talking about something, I don't remember what it was. And he asked me something. And he goes, well, we're all proud too. He did not give me the time to process the question that he just threw in my face. So, and you're very careful how you answer people like that. So, especially in that level, you don't want to just shoot something out of your mouth because I never know what's coming out. It could be anything. If I'm trying to answer in a hurry, it's going to be blah, 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 blah. It's not going to make sense. It's going to be inappropriate.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I've learned, I ask people to just give me a minute. And if I'm not sure, I'll feed the question back to him. Are you trying to ask me this? And I'll feed the question back to them so that they can yay or nay that and give me a minute and I'll come up with your answer.
Those are good things. I like it.
As you can tell, I have to really focus.
But you do well. I mean, you when we were doing the Women in Armor, you let me know that you're going to move around and stuff, but I was amazed how much you didn't move around. I mean, you still did, but you know what I mean? You were able to focus. Yeah. Matthias can focus. He's amazing to me how much he can, but there are times where
Easily distracted.
Yep.
And I am easily distracted. Something like I've got the shades pulled on the window, but they're just shears. If something happens out that window, I'm going to see it and I will be temporarily distracted from it because I'm like, what was that? Or if Greg pokes his nose in the door or something, that temporary distraction can actually pull you completely out of the conversation and you will forget what you were even talking about.
I think that's true of a lot of people. Isn't that true, Ruby?
Yeah, but I'm sitting here amazed how self-aware you are.
It took me years. This was the things that I understand about myself today took me most of my life to figure out. So, and I learned a lot of it by watching the reactions of the people around me. So I learned about the blurting of stuff out of my mouth, which it actually came back to haunt me during a funeral of all places. And I was like, I should have kept my mouth shut. I just shouldn't have said anything. And shoulda, coulda, woulda. Ain't going to change what happened. I just have to be more careful. But it took a very, very long time for me to figure all this out because I wasn't raised by a person that taught me all my manners, all my good graces, all my you don't laugh like a horse, you laugh like this. I wasn't raised by that kind of person. I was raised to be who I am. And so I had to figure it out as I went along. Mhm.
It's why she's been so key in understanding Matthias, because she can articulate how they think, which makes it huge for me. It's like, please explain. I'm lost.
I'd get these panic emails or a panic call. I don't know what to do. And I would think about it for a little bit, and then I'd come back and tell her, well, this is probably what's happening. Try this. It's like whenever, when Matthias was overwhelming himself by working too long on a project, I said, tell him to take a break, get up and walk away, give it 10 minutes, clear your mind, and then go back to it. Fresh eyes. It made all the difference, right?
Well, still the big turnaround, because he actually just copied and pasted for 3 projects. No, and it caught him at it. And so now he had to redo them. But he came back and he said, I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to think it through. And you being able to tell me this is how to think it through and that break. And he went, I did not know that I needed a break. I thought I was just being stupid and dumb. And so it got longer and longer into procrastination. And it was just an eye opener for him. It's like, oh, I'm not dumb. Oh, I just need, okay, breathe.
When you're trying so hard to be creative and you're not given a great direction to go, it is so overwhelming. It really is. It is hugely overwhelming. So as you're creating, just writing a stupid story. Okay, I'm going to write a story. What am I going to write a story about? Because the teacher said, it's your creation. Write whatever you want. That's really difficult because now not only do I have to pick a subject, I have to pick a direction, I have to pick the foundation of the story, and I got to figure all this out. It can be very overwhelming. So taking 10 minutes, stepping back, and it's amazing. It doesn't take a lot of time because a lot of people would think, I need an hour just to get my mind clear. No, you don't. You only need about 10 minutes and you can back up, go to something else for a few minutes, and then come back to it. And it makes all the difference in the world. And that's on a lot of subjects. That's not just school. That's life.
Yeah. Thing is about you and Matthias, it can be in the middle of a test or whatever. You need more of them. Ruby and I both need those time to clear our heads. I mean, there's just times we're done. Brain is on overload. Let me walk away and we come back. But definitely you guys just need more, particularly classroom and that kind of stuff. But like I said, that was it was just made all the difference in the world. And
he had to give himself permission too. That's another thing. They think that it's not, to me, it's not unusual to see people ridicule themselves over the fact that they're not living up to the standards put before them. Well, what standards? Who put that standard before you? Was it you? Was it your peers? Was it your teacher? You know, who put that standard there? And 9 chances out of 10, when you stop and think about it, or they stop and think about it, they are the ones that put that standard, because I have to be like everybody else.
Question is why?
Exactly. Because they want, we
Yeah, I understand why, but you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's just,
Yeah.
they have to think it through. Can I be who I am? And is it okay to be me?
And do I know who I am?
Yeah.
That's a big one, Ruby. Do I know? How do you understand something if you don't know what it is? And I didn't, but I still work my way through it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, right now we're just working at, and I don't know all the answers yet, is his counselor did an assessment using his brain about where he was mental health wise. It looked really good. And I'm going, no, don't go there. And then this last time we talked, I said, trust your gut. Notice I didn't say all your thinking, mental thinking. I said, trust your gut. And the counselor said, but not your emotions. Okay. See, this is a little complicated, right? And Matthias went, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
But there's not an assessment about the gut to
No.
talk to the gut where it is. And so now I'm having to talk to the counselor, and he's not done because his gut's not okay. We're close, but we ain't there. See what I mean? It's that sixth sense gut that puts all the pieces together. That
No, it's your heart of hearts that
okay?
puts all of it together. It's your heart of hearts.
Okay.
In your heart of heart, commonly known as your spirit, you know, and he probably knows this better than I do. You can feel when it's right and when it's wrong. You know. The problem is that you don't listen. You don't
Who,
always
us?
listen. No, me as a person. I know in my heart of hearts the difference between right and wrong. That was placed there by God. It says so in the Bible. Okay.
Right.
I know the difference. I know the Holy Spirit's going to kick me in the knickers because I did something stupid. Knowing that I was warned and I didn't listen. Okay. How long does it take a person that thinks like I do to figure that out? That this is coming from the Holy Spirit.
A while.
Yeah. Even from the time we are kids, you get it, I get it, but that push that you're either doing something wrong or this is extremely right. And I love the extremely right.
Yes.
It's like your whole world lights up because you've got that extremely right feeling. I passed the test, I got an A on the test. That's like extremely right. But when it's extremely wrong, you're going to feel it. And they don't get the difference between failing a test because you just didn't get the answers right or failing the test because you are a failure. There's two different worlds right there. And hitting that's where my heart of hearts says, it's not your fault. Next time we'll study harder. Next time we'll memorize more. And that's what I have to do. I'm the memory miser kid. I got to memorize everything because unless you give me a good stiff hint, I'm not going to remember.
His problem is that he worked really, really hard on a project. It was sequential in nature. He got an F and he just folded it on himself.
Yeah, I could do that too. It's like me
And
now.
but it's not a matter of him studying harder. He couldn't have studied harder. He spent hours on it. He couldn't have done more. And he's run into that enough times, just enough times that he's going, I don't care about grades. Honestly.
Yes. The study harder for me,
Mhm.
that was my that was my calming spirit. That was my, it's okay. Next time we'll do better. We'll just study
Right.
harder. Will I be able to study harder? What I'll have to do is understand better.
Yeah.
Okay. I already know the material. I've had teachers tell me that, Cindy, you know the material. What's the answer? And I can't give them the answer they want.
Exactly. Whenever I'm running into what I'm talking about, the gut, his gut basically is asking questions like, can I do it?
Right.
Is it going to get overwhelming?
Right.
Is it going to be too much? I'm serious. This is
I,
line thoughts all the time.
yep.
It's not healthy the way he does it.
Mm.
But it's going to be there, and that's what he's doing with this job. Is it going to get overwhelming? Is 8 hours too much? I'm serious. The gut is asking these kind of questions.
Well, that's
And
not,
it's not going through his head. It's not going through his head. You may think we can call it the spirit of his spirit. I'm fine with that. But the thing is, it's just not going through his head. It's going his behavior. It's going
Yep.
through that.
it's making him very uncomfortable.
Yes. Ongoing with doing whatever he does.
Yeah.
Because it's always there.
And it's a lack of confidence.
Yep.
Part of it is a lack of confidence. You know, he needs, as he does the job more, he will build more confidence in himself till somebody slaps him down for something. Somebody's going to say something that's going to be, it'll either, they're trying to help. So they give him constructive criticism. He needs to learn about constructive criticism. Or you did this wrong attitude. That will slap him down fast. You know, and him being able to turn around and go, okay, what did I do wrong and how do I fix it? Without being slapped down. My spirit, I had to work hard on getting past that. I had to learn to take constructive criticism as it is. This is meant to help me, not to hurt me.
Right.
That's why they call it constructive. And so I had to learn that. And that was not an easy lesson to take in. It took me a long time because everything was personally directed at me as far as I was concerned.
Yeah. And that's true of most people, isn't it?
Most of the time, I would say.
But just because it takes longer to put the pieces together. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that's true of most people that I know of. Nobody likes being slapped down. Learning that I don't have to react to that in a negative way. I can go deal with this in a positive way. As a matter of fact, my preacher or our pastor talked about this today because my first reaction to this letter that said everything I was doing wrong was not positive. Well, you're not doing it right either. You know?
And
No.
that's sometime an opinion too.
Yeah.
So that's a hard thing to deal with.
Yeah,
Okay?
it is.
In your opinion, I'm not doing this right because I know why. I know why. Matthias probably doesn't, but I'm not doing this right because I'm not doing it your way. That's why I'm not doing it right. And as long as you can stand up and confront that and say, I'm doing it this way because I understand it and it works just fine for me.
Yes.
Go with
Yeah.
it. You know, when they can
Well,
get to the point where they can.
This was the pastor, and he caught himself, stopped, prayed it through, and they'll be fine. But you know what I mean.
Yeah,
it's still there. He still has to learn how to do it. We all are in that process of figuring it out, how not to react to people that think differently than we are and going to be critical. Right, Ruby?
Right. I mean, the first knee-jerk reaction for anybody is self-preservation, right? You put up the wall. Nope, I'm going to protect myself from what's being said, or knee-jerk reaction,
Yeah.
you know? And so you have to take it back and process it and go, okay, what is constructive? What can I actually learn from it? My mom used to tell us, learn and grow from it. So what part of it is that I need to learn and grow from it, and the other stuff can just stay there.
There you go. I like that.
I do too.
Okay, what do we want to talk about when it comes to yeah, right here. What is it like to be sensitive to the spirit realm?
I'm sorry, what was that?
What is it like to be sensitive to the spirit realm?
Oh,
Second part of it. See, that's why I wanted to ask now and start thinking about it now before we get there.
I'm going to ask for context.
Okay, so what I'm going to start with is we're going to go into a subject that is controversial. The Native Americans from the Nez Perce tribe took their public school teachers up to a celebration up in the mountains. They were sitting around and they opened up the floor for people to tell their dreams, their visions, a word of wisdom or knowledge or understanding. And for some of the teachers, it freaked them out.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Particularly the dreams and visions and that kind of stuff. It just didn't know what to do with that kind of stuff. The gal that I got this from was a teacher, and she also is a pastor's wife in the Assemblies of God Church. So for her, it was very comfortable. I mean, she's done with this all the time, so it was no problem. But like I said, the teachers with her, they didn't know what to do with it. But then they were on the way back, and they're trying to process through what can we learn from this. Okay, when I deal with people, it's often there's people that just are going, we don't have to worry about that. That's not something we have to deal with. I mean, even Christians. I'm serious. And
Okay.
it's like they just don't want to deal with it. And part of it is because it's been used badly, The demon made my son do that, therefore it. No.
Yeah.
Even if it's a demon part of it, you keep them responsible for it because they have to learn how to tell that demon to get lost.
Away. Yeah.
They still are responsible for their actions. Okay. So I've had all kinds of different reactions to this, and I'm going, understand, they're going to, no matter what they do, they're going to be aware of it.
Mhm.
There are some people, and I'm one of them, if I wanted to, I could shut down that part of me and not be sensitive.
Janet, you froze.
What? Oh, I'm sorry.
You froze. You said there are some people, and then we didn't hear the remainder of your sentence.
There are some people like myself that I could close down that sensitive part of me pretty easily. But for people like Matthias, there's no way.
Mm-mm.
They are going to be aware of what's around them, even if they don't know what it is.
Yep.
To tell you what it is.
Like when you walk in a room and you know it's a place you don't want to be.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I refuse to go indoors. I'm like, I don't want to be here. And today Greg was watching some nonsense on the news that it wasn't spiritual or anything, but the lady was an atheist. She had nothing nice to say, and I said, I don't want to listen to this. And I walked away. And it's that pull. It's like getting on the freeway one day. So Bud and I had gone out to get dinner, our once a week dinner we got to do. And on the way home, I had two ways to go. I could go over the bridge and go the long way, or I could get on the freeway and go the short way. And everything in me said, don't get on that freeway. Don't do it. So I headed up over the bridge. And as we were crossing the bridge, it would have been right as I was getting on the freeway, there was a 5-car pileup. So having that, I don't consider having that gift as a detriment. I don't ever shut it down. It's always there. And if people don't like it, oh, well, they can get over it.
There you go.
I've gotten to that point.
How about you, Ruby?
Well, ever since I was little, it's same thing. I would feel certain things. I've always been sensitive to the spirit realm. I think that it's probably from my family's gone back because there's several Christians in my family that are going back, but also Native Americans had always been, and several of them are pretty much most of them, very sensitive to the spirit. And just like what you said, Cindy, it's just as simple as you have that feeling and you're like, am I going to ignore it or am I going to pay attention to it? Well, after a few times of ignoring it and running into a difficult situation, you start paying attention.
Yeah.
And
Well, that's awesome.
yeah. And so when I was younger, I didn't say much because a lot of times people, because they don't understand it or they fear it, it must be wrong.
Yeah.
And so I would just keep it to myself until one time I was talking to one of my sisters and she goes, "Oh, I've always been that way, or dreaming dreams." And I went, "Oh, so there's nothing bad about it?" And she's like, "No, not at all. There's nothing wrong with that." Okay. So,
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what I have found, because I did this presentation for the coaching community, and I basically said, they're going to test you to see if you're okay with them talking about the spirit realm.
Mm.
And if you're not, they will know it and they won't say anything else about it. But if you want to build trust, let them talk. Usually they won't spend a lot of time on it,
Mhm.
but they'll find out if you accept them as they are.
Yeah. And in this day and age, that's a hard accept for a lot of people.
Yeah. Well, the main key for any coaching is building trust.
Oh, yeah.
So that was a key piece to tell them, if you want to build trust, you want to have that key piece, this is how to do it. If you're not, be honest with them, and they will respect that, but be honest with yourself and them.
And do yourself a favor and look them straight in the eye so that they know you're listening.
Oh, that's good. Okay. Yeah.
That if you're not looking me in the eye while we're talking, I'm thinking, well, they don't care anything about it. So I will literally shut up.
Yep. The other thing that comes up is discernment. Most are not taught discernment at an early age. They do not know what they're dealing with. And they need teaching. They just do.
When you're naturally spirit oriented like we are, if you're not taught discernment, you live with the good and the bad feelings because that is your discernment. It's either good or it's bad. So now the leading part, you'll need that.
Matthias didn't even know if it was good or bad at one point when he was dealing with some demons. He did not know. He blamed himself.
Right.
He had no idea what was going on. I'm the one who had to realize what was happening, walk him through and explain, you as a Christian have absolute authority to tell that thing to get out of there or leave you alone. Yeah. And walk him through the repentance of what he did so he's not angry at himself. And then walk him through getting, I don't know what you call it, delivered or just getting them out of the way or whatever you want to call it.
God calls it cleaning house.
Yeah, cleaning house. Okay. But sometimes, honestly, they don't know. Well, what's interesting to me is, Doug York is a missionary to Native Americans. He said, in one of the tribes he went to, if there's somebody in the hospital, they will call all the main spiritual people. It doesn't matter whether they're Christian or not. They'll call all of the main Christian people to come to pray together. And so you've got demonic and you've got angelic, you know what I mean? It's an interesting mix.
Yeah.
But don't know what's good, what's bad sometimes because they use it as part of their life, right?
Right.
What are you thinking, Ruby?
oh, I was just a couple of things that kind of tickled me when you said that, Cindy, about people looking you in the eye. And if they're not paying attention, you're like, okay, you don't want to hear me. my grandson didn't like this particular teacher, and she would say bye to him every day in Head Start, and he wouldn't give her the time of day. And I finally asked him, I said, Abel, why your teacher said bye? How come you didn't say bye? Because the other one, he hugged her, he talked to her, everything. And he said, well, she doesn't like me. I said, well, you know what? She says bye to you every single time. And why wouldn't you say that? And he goes, because she doesn't look at me. She doesn't listen to me. She doesn't care for me. So I don't pay attention to her. I
Mhm.
went, okay, because he was watching her eyes. He was listening to her tone, her body language, everything,
Mhm.
and kids tend to, I think when people get distracted because of the world or things happening as they get older, they tend to lose that. And so that sensitivity. And I think it's the same thing with when you're growing up in the spiritual realm, you're growing up, you're learning, so when you first are learning about the spiritual realm or having that intuition, what do I do with it, right? And it's that same thing. We have to learn through it. A lot of people have a negative voice.
Oh,
They
yeah.
think of themselves negatively. They don't even have any idea that that's an attack of the enemy.
Right.
You don't have to accept those things about yourself because that's not true. That's not what God's word says about you.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, it's a learning process for sure.
Did you see how powerful what we just did is?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna see if I can wake up Sherry.
See that? I wouldn't bank on it.
Yeah, I would say let her sleep, poor thing.
Okay.
I wouldn't bank on it. She was sawing logs there for a little bit.
You gonna wake up?
I don't think so. Oh
He
my
was
goodness.
in quite a
Oh.
bit of pain.
Oh. That's snoring.
Just a little, but that's
Sorry.
okay. It's just the beginning stuff. So,
It's okay. We weren't paying any attention.
Oh
I-
gosh. Ridiculous. Oh, I don't like those things. Well, I
Are
feel
you okay?
yeah,
Oh,
just
good.
I'm really tired.
you're looking better now.
Well, that's
You
good.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, my eyes.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Thank you, Jesus.
Okay.
Ugh.
So, anyway, you get the feel of what we're going to be doing.
Right.
Okay. So let's see if we can stop recording.
Yeah,
Usually
no.
I stop recording.